I bought this dollhouse as a display unit in 2002 when I was visiting Oregon, brought it back to New Hampshire, and then 10 months later came back out to Oregon. And then it proceeded to put it in my attic, which a very humid attic, and it stayed there until 2018 when my husband built my she shed so I could work on it. So yeah, this is what it looked like when I started. It was missing a roof and lots of bits, and it was broken. But I had to fix things like this bay window I built in the sink, and had to rebuild the wall that it was attached to, because while it was in the attic, it had some squatters, and there was nesting material, and the wood was all chewed up. The little cabinets I had built in 2002, just after I got to Oregon, and they survived in the attic fairly well, came out unscathed. Well, I said mostly unscathed. So here I am adding in some ceramic tile. These are Moroccan nano tiles. They're mostly used in jewelry, but they work perfectly for dollhouse applications. And here I am maximizing my space in my very limited space Victorian townhouse as it began by filling in the understairs area for the living room with a china cabinet, a hearth, and some more drawers and cabinets. They're not perfect, but I think they look nice, and they provide perfect storage for a little dollhouse and for all of my years of collecting. And I think painted, they turned out pretty great. I still need to glaze the windows in there. Here's some more custom cabinetry for the witch's room. I closed up the window that came with the dollhouse. I was going to cut in a round window in its place, and you'll see that later. The cabinet broke as I was putting it in, but I figured it doesn't look too bad wonky because it's a magic room and it should be spooky. Flooring for the library. Both the first floor and the second floor have flooring. And this is me rebuilding the entire gabled area of the third floor so I can have a spacious room and a washroom. So I made it into a hip roof, and that's perfect because I'm going for Regency / Georgian. And here I am coating the tower in the front with Doss air dry clay, and turning it into a stone. I have a lot of pictures of this process of vining and leafing, the whole thing. Sorry about that, but I was pretty proud of it because it was so tedious. Now the vine parts, those are actually natural twigs that I found, and they're a little bit out of order here, showing the process of installing all of the ivy leaves. They're actually maple punch leaves and ivy leaves mixed, and I decided to do a autumny color because I wanted it to be a little gloomier than it's a witch's house. I don't want it to be bright and cheery all the time. I want it to be a little spooky. So you can see I meticulously added each leaf on individually, shaping every one and making it face the sun. If you want to know how I did this, look on my YouTube feed. There should be a tutorial about how to do this. If not on my feed, then on my Her Odyssey feed. If you can't find it, just ping me and let me know, and I'll see if I can find the link for you. But I have a tutorial on how to do these ivy walls. I will do more ivy soon, but as you can see, I'm spreading it all over the place on the tower and having it climb up the front of the townhouse. This is a wall hanging dollhouse, by the way. It's 9 inches deep, perfect for small spaces. And here I am preparing the glass for the tower windows. I wanted something that was a little obscured. And yeah, they're not perfect, but they're suitable. Testing some electrics. I haven't finished the wiring in the whole house yet. I need to connect it, and I need to figure out some circuitry because I have flashing or flickering bulbs, and I have to do something special to keep them from making the whole house flicker. And now it's time to address the back. As you can see, the witch window is installed. And just to show you how I did some of my stained glass. This is from my Cricut Joy. I cut the vinyl. It can cut some pretty fine shapes, and I use glass paint to fill it in. And the roof, I went through a lot of ups and downs with this roof because I didn't know what size or how high I wanted it, what shape. And then one day on a wild hair, I just decided to do this. And I'm pretty happy with it. Again, some of these are out of sequence and out of order. I had to kind of go to various different social media and sites and kind of collect all of these different depictions of my work. Every project is, I started it in 2018 when I got this house, and it's all fits and starts. I'm sure if I dedicated every day and every hour, it probably would have been done within a year, but I tend to pick up a project, like this roof, for instance, on a wild hair. I'd be like, oh, I have some copper. I'm going to make a roof, and then I make it, and then I won't touch the house for 3 months. So once I finish a project, I'll let it sit for a while, and then on a wild hair, I'll do another project. But I've started working on this house in earnest since 2018. And, it's just one little thing at a time. The roof, the stairway, the ceilings in the downstairs, the flooring on the first 2 floors. Look at this patina and or verdigris, I guess. I love this. Look at that. It's wild. It looks so cool. And I will do some more leafing to kind of integrate these more. I want to get a couple of leaves onto the underside of the framing there. But I use the framing to kind of marry the roof to the tower. It's not a perfect fit. I'm not meticulous. I just do things. I make it. And sometimes they don't come out perfect, but you make it work. You find things that make it forgiving. And that slate that I put on the roof, I found it in the UK. It's fabulous. I think it turned out pretty good. As you can see, I also put in some divided leading on there on the window upstairs, and all of the windows are now glazed in the front and the back of the house. And as you can see, it makes for a nice effect. Inside, there's no trim yet, but we don't know that as we look on the outside. A little more glass paint and Cricut work. I love the window in the tower. So pleased with it. I think the vines turned out really great too. You can see the little black blob there. That's Griff, the raven. I've been putting crows and ravens all over the house. Now to address the back, which at this point is still kind of bare, but you can see my round window is in, and I was solving a problem using Doss air dry clay. I made rounded bricks to fix what I was missing here. And there you go. It's not perfect, but once it's mortared, you can barely tell. I don't think that's too bad. I think that looks okay. I'm not too keen on the window glazing right now. I'm going to have to sit on that for a while and see. I might have to redo it. I'm not pleased with it. But other than that, I really like my bay window. And then I decided I'm going to cut my own little leaves for clematis to climb on this side. There you go. I think it looks pretty, don't you? And here I am redoing the fence. I still need to build a new gate, but I need to also figure out how I'm going to have that gate work with the stairs. But right now, this is the fence. I use jewelry findings and brass. I love soldering. It reminds me of my dad. And I used beads, fleur-de-lis beads, to be finials. I think it turned out pretty great. It's not perfect, but it's better than the last one that I did. I'm pretty pleased with it. And here I am doing the ceiling. This is another one of those projects. You just do, every few months I'll just, okay, I'm going to do my ceilings now. So I'll just do the kitchen ceiling. And then if I'm feeling still, motivated, I might do another ceiling. I have all my other projects that I'm always working on. But sometimes I just want to break the tedium by doing something different now and again and moving my project forward. So yeah, in 4 years, every few months, project here, project there. I think I'm making pretty good progress. Look how pretty they look installed. I also trimmed in the door and in the kitchen and painted it to go with the wainscot. I still need to find a little chair rail. I need to find something decent for that, for the top of the wainscot. But look at that, all integrated, looks beautiful. And now I'm going to do the living room ceiling, and I literally just threw this thing together. If you look closely at it, you'll see a lot of imperfections, but it's on the ceiling. Nobody's staring at it. Some cute little details. Hole for the chandelier. And because I like to overkill, oh yes, I'm soldering again. Just making sure that the wires are nice and, yeah. I gotta find that heat gun. It's been missing for a little while. But yes, because I'm overkill girl, I decided to stencil all the other little panels. So this is the house as it is now. New fence installed. Look how nice that looks. And ceiling in the living room, ceiling in the kitchen, little beehive. Back of the house still looks good. There's also, you don't see it, but there's a little fountain on the back of the house now. I notice there's more crows and ravens. And the library. I still need to trim all the windows. The higher you go in this house, the less it is done. So I need to do ceilings on the second floor and floors and ceilings on the third floor, but this is it for now.